Can you do this thing? Look at your calendar. No, I'm fully booked that day. That's your time. Like, if you want to give it to something and eat into that time, that's on you. But 2021, I will not be doing that. Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Harleigh. This video is a little follow-on from my last video about how I organize my life and the many areas of it. So if you haven't seen that, that video is linked up here. Also subscribe if you're back after that video because you're obviously here for a good time and an organized time. In this video, we're going to be going through calendar blocking specifically, and I'm going to kind of live plan my February, or at least the first 2 weeks of February. I had a few comments on my last video about the whole meal prep and plan aspect of my life. So if you are interested in that, give this video a thumbs up and let me know in the comments which aspect of meal plan and prep that you kind of struggle with or you're interested in seeing the most. But in this video, we're going to be doing calendar blocking and time batching. So what is calendar blocking and time batching? Time batching is the process of doing any like tasks at the same time. For example, filming all your YouTube videos at the same time, and also doing anything else that requires you to be dressed up, have your makeup done, anything like that. Doing all your laptop-based admin at the same time, so doing your bills, your finances, your spreadsheets, anything like that, all at the same time. Anything that involves you to be in the same mindset, do those at the same time. And then the calendar blocking process is actually assigning time to those blocks. It's all well and good you kind of grouping tasks in your head and telling yourself you're going to do this at the same time as that and this at the same time as that, but when? When is that time? Personally, I recommend Google Calendar. It is the most accessible in terms of being on your laptop. Anywhere you log into your Gmail, I have the widget on the home screen of my iPhone. I also find that having access to it everywhere helps with your accountability. You have no reason to not be able to get your hands on your schedule. Google Calendar allows you to invite people into your calendars. So if you have one specific calendar that is for you and your partner, if your partner doesn't organize their whole life by Google Calendar because they think you're nuts, but they just want to be able to see the mutual things that you have going on that share to them. So you can put date nights, vet appointments, things about your kids, anything like that, and you can share it between you. So anytime you update your side of that calendar, they will also get that update. As much as Google Cal does run my life, I also do recommend some kind of list making, note taking resource, be it an app, be it old school pen and paper. Personally, I do like to have a to-do list notebook, which I've shown here a few times. I also like to use the to-do list app, which is just an app by Microsoft. It used to be called Wonderlist, now it's called To-Do List. I've been calendar blocking for about 3 to 4 years and I do genuinely love it. It has actually changed my life and allowed me to change my life. There is no way I would be able to manage my time as well as I do and get all the various things I need to get done without some kind of backbone and structure that allows me to plan ahead. And yeah, it allowed me to change my life rather than changing my life, if that makes sense. And as I explained in my last video, I have a lot of aspects of my life that I need to organize, and I do really love having different colored calendars and things like that, but some things are easier for me to show you than explain to you. So we're going to jump into like laptop view now, and I will explain as we plan February. I thought it would be nice to kind of sit and go through February because February is a month that starts on a Monday, and I love that for me. February's giving me good vibes. Like, February seems like a good month to get this going. Okay, so let's get into February. I'm gonna flick up and down, and I'm looking at my laptop here, and I will share the laptop screen obviously on screen with you guys, but just in case I'm like looking up and down, my laptop is right here. This is the month view of February 2021, but I just want to talk you through a few things about Google Cal and the interface first before we actually go through into actually planning things. So I typically do use my Google Cal in month view or full week view. So you can go into the settings and change if you want the view to start on a Monday, if you want your week to start on a Monday, if you want your week to start on a Saturday or a Sunday, 24-hour clock, what format you like the date, language, all that good stuff. But it's fully customizable in case anybody was worried about this being like specific. So over here on the left we have all the different calendars. So this is the area that I was talking about in terms of being able to share a specific calendar with someone. It's not the entire view of everything that you're up to, but you can edit the settings for each and every particular calendar, the sharing settings, and basically collaborate with somebody on a calendar. So I have some calendar set up here already just for ease and quickness, and I've done this before. So I like to have my one calendar, which is just things that are personal. I've got an eye test on that calendar already, my morning routine. You know, we're gonna plot some things on these calendars now anyway to give you examples, but just so that you know, I have a calendar for my work, which is gonna be one of the first things that we're about to set up, a calendar for my business, calendar for YouTube things, calendar for other content creation, another calendar for my goals. And this is something that I use to basically just make sure that when I look across the week, I see some of this yellowy color, whether it's allowing 30 minutes for reading time, putting my workouts on here, making sure that I'm actually doing things for myself other than just work, structure. Last calendar on here is occasions, and then there are two like Google presets. One is reminders and one is tasks. I typically don't really use tasks that much, so I've actually just unticked it. If you would like to make a new calendar, you just hit this plus sign right here, create a new calendar. It opens this setting. We could create another calendar, test, give it a description if you want to, create the calendar first, and then when you've created the calendar, you can edit the settings to be able to share it to whoever you need to.
Many minutes later.
So I did just start filming, actually doing this all live and planning the month live with you guys, but I was making so many mistakes and I just wanted to change things, and that's how my planning method works. I put certain things in and I'm like, oh no, I need to move that, and explaining all those decisions to you live as they were happening was just getting too hectic. So I have literally just stopped recording, had a cup of tea, had a donut, and now I'm gonna go through what I've planned and how I've planned, kind of calendar by calendar. The first thing we're gonna plot into this calendar are the non-negotiables. So for me, that is work and sleep. Everyone knows really it's sleep then work, but we'll start with work first because we actually have to do that at a certain time. We are contracted to. So I have a calendar for work and I have plotted in all of my work hours, which are 9:30 till 6 every single day. I have also plotted in the same calendar a block called lunch block. This is because there is time there, you know, and maybe you want to plot your morning 9:30 till 1 and then again from 2 until 6:30, whatever works better for you. If you'd rather there be like a clear gap there for you to slot something in, I don't mind doing it this way because then I will just actually edit the words lunch block into whatever they are going to be. Don't sleep on your lunch break. I mean, sleep on your lunch break if you want to. If you want to turn that into a nap, whatever it is, fine, but just acknowledge that there is time there. Your lunch break, sometimes it just vanishes. There is time there, time that can be used for something that you want to do. Next thing, things like sleep. If you want to take a nap on your lunch break, I'm gonna stick that on my personal calendar. So this is basically, I have plotted out my morning routine time, my home routine time, and of course my sleep. So this is the first time I'm actually gonna plot my sleep like this, and usually I just put in a line for bedtime at like 10 or 10:30 that I can move up or down. I have decided to actually plot my sleep for the first time in its full entirety. So on the calendar, I have actually put out the 8 hours for sleep that start at 10:30 and go all the way through into the next day until 6:30. All of these blocks, no matter how kind of rigid they look, are completely movable. So you can literally just decide, okay, I'm gonna go to bed later. I went to bed at 11 o'clock, which means to get 8 hours sleep, I have to sleep until 7 a.m. That means that we don't have this little window of time that we had, you know, on Monday anymore. That is gone. I'm not waking up until 7:30. Every time you move something that you have put a repeat in for, it will ask you, do you just want to edit this one or do you want to edit this and all the following ones? So all of my kind of things across the whole week and every single week are plotted in to just repeat every single day. So that's why if you want to move bedtime forever for an extra 30 minutes, then save this and all following events. But if you're just moving bedtime on that one day, then just save this event. The two slots that I have in the mornings for my home routine and my morning routine, my home routine are going to be things like if I want to, you know, do a 30-minute tidy in the morning, if I need to put the bin out, if it's bin day, if I did wash all the dishes from the night before. It's not necessarily like assigned to any particular thing, but remember that this works in conjunction with your to-do list. So on your to-do list, you'll have things like put the bin out, fold the laundry, put the laundry on. And it's just about knowing that this 30 minutes or 45 minutes time of your home routine is when you can power through as many things on that to-do list as possible. My morning routine is a little bit different. I'm kind of working out a morning routine at the moment, but we'll talk about morning routines another time. But whatever your morning routine is, including getting showered, having breakfast, the things that really help you start your day, that is the time that you have assigned for that. In the evenings, I have put in dinner at 7:30 every day. At the moment, I've put in a half an hour slot for that. A lot of the things I do eat are quite quick if I'm cooking them on the day, just because they have to be, because I don't like to waste time. I easily just expand, say Tuesday here, and know that I have to actually cook a bigger meal that day, and it might be the meal that I'm going to eat quickly on Wednesday and Thursday. Again, right before bedtime, I've just put in a nighttime routine, taking an evening shower, doing your skincare, whatever it may be. Next calendar I'm going to turn on is actually my YouTube calendar. So as you can see, I have a repeat that goes through every single Sunday, which is setting my video live, hopefully 12 o'clock. If you're seeing this and it came out after 12 o'clock, just know that I slid this around and I moved this to some other time. I've put 2 slots in the week to edit. I will usually put the title of the video in here, but I don't know what this video is going to be yet. And that's the great thing about calendar blocking. You're literally just assigning the time. You don't need to have all the details. So I've just put in 2 slots for editing. That's about 3 hours altogether after my dinner on 2 of my evenings. And then I've also put in another slot to actually schedule that video, make the thumbnail, any other things that are associated with actually getting that video published in time for it to go live on Sunday. Another thing you might notice is that I don't fill up every single second of my time on the calendar. And that's because shit happens. So I usually like to leave a 15-minute buffer between things, as you can see, between my morning routine and actually getting to work. You know, I might need to lay in the bath a little bit longer that day. I don't know. Having that 15-minute buffer is just great. It's also about knowing yourself, knowing what's practical, knowing what's realistic, and actually getting the things done. Do not fill up every single second of your time if you're not somebody that can just be like, walk away, you know, game over. Next calendar we can turn on and go through is the goals calendar. So that at the moment is just a workout slot, which I've put in for the 5 weekdays. I want to have a perfect month on my Apple Watch next month, so I will actually need to be active for at least 30 minutes every single day. I think the things that I like to do in the morning are the more self-motivated tasks. So things that are going to either help me improve my day, or things that I'm going to be really disappointed in myself for not doing if it gets until after work and I'm so tired and I don't want to do it. So anything that requires me to be, you know, freshly woken in the morning, full of energy, full of high spirits, and things that only I am accountable for. No one else is going to check for me whether or not I do or don't do my workout. So I want to get those things done in the morning. In the evening, I can leave things that people are going to hold me accountable for. My customers are waiting for replies for their emails. If I have cakes to actually make, I cannot avoid that. I can't just go to bed because I don't want to do it, which I could do about a workout. I'm going to turn on the next calendar, which is actually my small size calendar, which is my home bakery business. So as you can see, I basically put a slot in every other day, or I try to do it every other day. I can do it whenever I want, in terms of like I can read certain emails on the go, but actually invoicing and putting things on my calendar, as you can see, requires like time and sitting down. So it is good to schedule out some time, things that you could do on your phone, but you'd actually be better off doing if you assign some time and sat down and did them properly, put it on your calendar. So I have these 3 slots on Monday, Wednesday, and then Saturday again to reply to any outstanding emails, send invoices and all that stuff. I also have an order to do for next week, so I've assigned some time on Sunday to get that done. This will not take me 3 hours to do, but again, just like having that 15-minute buffer in the mornings between your morning routine and work, I do kind of over-assign time for about half an hour to, depending on the task really. Smaller tasks, I'll assign an extra spare 15 minutes. Bigger tasks, I'll assign an extra 30 to 40 minutes really. I forgot my batch cook prep time. See, I forgot what I'd even put in all these calendars. So this batch cook and prep time that I have here on Sunday, even though it's a completely different task and it's on my personal calendar, it's cooking for me. So after I've done that and I've got things that I need to cook before I leave the kitchen and before I completely clean it down, mop the floor and do all of that, and I'm in the kitchen, I may as well batch cook for the week. So I'll allow a little buffer of time, and in my own brain I know, okay, look, I'm baking there and I'm cooking there, which means, okay, a bit of time for cleaning and rearranging there, a bit of time for cleaning and rearranging there, and then actually time to sit down and eat. I mentioned in my last video that you need to allow time to plan. You need to plan to plan. So I have a repeat for every single week on the Sunday. Check my week plan. You know, I might have forgotten to do something. I might need to assign some more time. So just that weekly check-in, even if you are monthly planning, is really important. So week 1 of February is looking kind of like a very normal week. Got loads of free time over the weekend, which hopefully stays free. It allows me to just do whatever I want, because week 2 of February is looking a little bit mad. So this is kind of a week where I have a lot going on in all those areas of my life, and I really, really need to be prepared. So let's actually start at the end of the week, because that's where the problem, not the problem, but that's where the mania really is, and that is Valentine's Day. So I have a Valentine's Day collection for my cake business. So I actually planned this by reverse engineering the time, working out how many orders I'll have to deliver, how long that would take me, how long I'll need to bake said orders, and then working out where am I going to eat and do the rest of my life around that. So the first 2 things I actually put in were the 2 delivery slots, making sure that the customers come first. Immediately before that then, I will need to pack and prep said orders. And then I've also put in holds for the baking time for orders for the 13th and then again orders for the 14th. I would actually like to have a little bit of Valentine's Day, so I have put in a Valentine's Day date night hold here, and I have actually invited my boyfriend's calendar to that event. Now let's talk about this flexibility and actual planning and organization. So as you can see, I intend on baking here from the second I finish work to the second I go to bed. So in order for dinner to be eaten on this day, I know in my own mind I'm not gonna have time to necessarily cook. So the day before, I have got my dinner slot in terms of my actual eating slot, but I've also kind of overlaid another time slot here to prep at least for tomorrow's meal. Also, in terms of these groceries, so they're in blue, which means there are groceries for the small size, so that is a small size shopping trip. Typically, I need to go to the wholesalers and supermarket. The wholesalers is not open at 8 p.m. So this has got to get done in the morning. And now I could either bring my workout to the evening, I could make my workout shorter. I am aiming for 30 minutes every single day and I have a 45-minute slot there. So let's do that first. Let's just assign our 30-minute slot because that is what we're trying to do. And I have some time here before my home routine. Or maybe I could go to bed a little bit earlier on Wednesday night, wake up a little bit early to do the workout on Thursday morning. Or I could just swap the grocery slot for a workout slot. So now I'll do the workout when I finish work. I'll already have all the groceries. I can just make the dinner, have a bit of free time before Mania begins on Friday. Because I'm expecting a YouTube video to go out in the midst of while I'm running around delivering Valentine's all over London and playing Cupid, this video needs to be prepped before all of this happens. So I've got a slot to actually schedule and thumbnail that video on Wednesday night as opposed to Saturday, which you saw in week 1, and 2 slots to edit a video on Monday and Tuesday night in time for it to go live on Sunday. I have an order being picked up on Monday the 8th of February, but I haven't discussed with the customer yet what time that will be, but I just don't want to forget. So I've just assigned it to the whole day so that it's right there at the top of my day and also lists like across the whole span of the day, so I cannot forget. Valentine's Day is on the occasions calendar and obviously it is an all-day event, hence why that is there. Rolling into week 3 and now we're kind of pushing it. Now we're kind of pushing it in terms of how much planning can I really do. So on week 3, there isn't really much on here in terms of like when am I going to film my YouTube videos, when am I going to edit them, etc. I don't know. But what I can do is know that I'm actually off work these days. So I can just delete these events. Even though I'm going to be off for 2 days, I'm just going to delete one at a time. And because I knew I was going to be off, I have actually booked an eye test. So that is already in my calendar there. My morning routine and my sleep hours, again, I'm not just going to throw sleep out of the window because I'm off work for 2 days. But I would put in my calendar actually across the whole 2 days, just in my work calendar, that I am off work for those 2 days. And I will put that through from the Monday to the Tuesday. When you're looking at your week, obviously you can see there's 2 massive holes in the day there. But when you're looking at your month, things can look a little bit hectic. So to realize that you were off work those 2 days, you might not realize if you're looking at this particular view. So to have it across the 2 days, you can clearly see that, okay, off work those 2 days. I have someone coming to collect an order on that day. Don't go out, don't go anywhere. Because when you're on the go and people ask you if you want to do things, obviously not in the panoramic that we're in, but just generally, you can quickly glance across the whole month of your calendar and be like, oh no, can't do the 15th or 16th at any cost.
You get the idea.
The busier things get, the more flexibility I do need, and I definitely do slide things around quite a lot, but I would say that the whole point of calendar blocking is to give yourself a system and a system of accountability to actually get things done when they need to get done. There is no point in taking this time to calendar block the whole month or even just 1 week if you're then just going to move stuff around all the time. And it also gives you the motivation to say no to things. Can you do this thing? Look at your calendar. No, I'm fully booked that day. And even if it says hold me time, hold free time, that's your time. Like if you want to give it to something and eat into that time, that's on you. But 2021, I will not be doing that. I feel like even just looking at the calendar that I just showed you in month view is probably just overwhelmed absolutely everybody. But that is where I'm going to end the calendar blocking for today's video. I have put in all the negotiables for the entire month, but life happens and I don't want to be feeling like I'm a failure if I can't keep up to loads of small details and tasks that I planned for like a month in advance. It is good to have those non-negotiables in for long periods of time because things like a dentist appointment or an eye test like I have in my calendar could crop up and need to be booked, you know, 4 or 6 weeks in advance. Set yourself aside some time every single week and just, you know, spend half an hour fleshing out when you're going to do your workouts, when you're going to read your book, all those kind of things. I'm going to probably spend another half an hour like tidying up this calendar because I feel like I've made so many mistakes in the pressure of trying to film this video. If you have any questions about calendar blocking, leave them in the comments below. If you have a different lifestyle to me, say you are married, have kids, are studying, honestly, search on YouTube calendar blocking for students, mums, single dads, whatever it is, and I'm telling you there's a video out there for you. Like and subscribe if you have enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.